This Sunday, England will be taking on a rather dangerous Fijian outfit in the quarter-finals of the World Cup. England are coming into this game off a really disappointing performance against Samoa, only scraping through that game. Now, Fiji have had their troubles as well after losing to Portugal in their last game of the group stages in what was a relatively poor performance by Fiji standard, despite Portugal being quite exceptional. So it's not been ideal circumstances coming into the game for both sides, but it's knockout rugby and none of that matters. It's all about Sunday for both sides. Now, as part of my preview to this game, I'm going to be selecting a combined 15 between the two sides, which will hopefully give us an idea about who's on form and who's not going into this crucial game for both sides. I'm going to start off in the front row, Genge against Maui. Now, these are two really good scrummagers. Maui obviously plays for Saracens in the Gallagher Premiership, and Genge moving to Bristol from Leicester Tigers. Both are very explosive players, do take a big role in both of their respective teams in terms of ball carrying, and are good defenders as well. I'm just going to edge to Ellis Genge, just I feel he's a little bit more of the complete player. Maui's still on the rise as a rugby player, and Genge is just a bit more experienced, so I favour Genge in this 1-1. And then George and Dan Cole at hooker and tight head prop, and you've got Matavesi and Taggy. I'm going to go with Jamie George over Matavesi. I just feel Jamie George's line-out darts a little bit better. And look, Matavesi's ball carrying maybe edges out Jamie George, but I just favour the line-out darts and the consistency of Jamie George. The set piece is going to be huge in this game, so for Matavesi, it's so important that he hits his line-out darts. And look, same for Jamie George, but England historically have a slightly better set piece than Fiji, so Fiji will have to make sure they are watertight in order to go on to win this game. Dan Cole against Taggy. Now look, I'll probably favour the Fijian tight head in this encounter. Dan Cole for me isn't the best tight head prop we have in the England squad with Stewart and Sinclair, but Steve Borthwick seems to favour Dan Cole, so I have had to put him in for the England tight head, but I definitely favour Taggy. I just feel his ball carrying sets him apart from other tight head props, and look, maybe Cole's got the edge in the scrum time, but there's more to a props these days than just scrummaging. Now moving into the second rows, I'm going to go with Itoje over Matavavunda. Itoje has been not quite at the form in which we expect from Itoje. He's not quite reached the heights of sort of his 2017, 2016 days, but nevertheless he is a quality operator. And then Nasila Sila, the other second row I'm going to choose. I think he's been very impressive, really good at the line-outs and offers such a brilliant offload game, really can get his hands free quite frequently and is definitely a danger to any defence. Moving into the back row, Courtney Lawes edges it for me. I feel Courtney Lawes has been one of the bright sparks in what is a relatively has been some relatively poor performances from England, and Courtney Lawes has really shone even throughout the warm-up games where we did actually lose to Fiji. So Lawes gets the nod for me, and he's going to be very important, especially at line-out time. And we will really need his jackling abilities and his ability to secure turnover against what is some massive Fiji players. At 7, at open side flanker, we've got Tom Curry against Bottia. Now look, Tom Curry's an excellent rugby player, but I can't look no further than Bottia. Levani Bottia playing for La Rochelle in the Champions Cup, back-to-back Champions Cup winner in fact, has been very impressive. I think he's got to be the best, if not one of the best, over the ball in terms of jackling and the ability to secure a penalty or a turnover. He is just a cheat code. It is ridiculous. Remember, Saracens played La Rochelle in the Champions Cup. We couldn't win a single ruck. It was ridiculous. It was phenomenal in that game. Ben Earl against Mata. Earl once again has been relatively good for England, one of England's standout players. But I do have to just edge it towards Mata. I feel the ball carrying of Mata is just more energised and just bigger and just more physical. Although Ben Earl is very young and inexperienced, so he could definitely in the coming years sort of grow and become one of the best players on the field. Moving into the back line, Mitchell against Lamani. Now this is actually quite a tight one. Both scrum halves play a relatively similar game, quite fast paced and like to move the ball around. I think I'm going to have to edge towards Lamani. Frank Lamani is one of the Fijian players in which really does add to the tempo of the game, and it's crucial for Lamani considering Fiji score a lot of their tries off sort of phase 1 or phase 2 to really make sure that ball comes out the ruck quick enough, and he identifies space really impressively. At fly half, we've got Ford against Botiu. George Ford has been probably England's standout name of the tournament, and look, With Fiji's injury to Caleb Muntz, that was a hammer blow for Fiji, and really could potentially, if England win, be one of the reasons in which Fiji don't go on to win, considering his boot really did bring some stability to that Fijian outfit, and yeah, he'll be sorely missed. So I'm going to go with George Ford, and hopefully we can see him pull the drop goals out of the bag once more and keep that scoreboard ticking. And in terms of centres, we've got Farrell against Tuasova and then Tuolangi against Naisalevu. Now the Fijian centres, they are just out of this world. They're some outrageous talents. Look, Farrell for me is a flight half. I think he's, look, I'm not going to say he's one of the best flight halves in the world, but I do think he's sort of in that top 5, top 10 conversation. I think he's a quality 10, but just not not inside centre. It just doesn't work. You've got to play players, especially at international level, in the positions in which they play at their clubs, because otherwise they're not as familiar with certain scenarios, and it's just not ideal. So look, I'm going to have to go with Tuasova. And in terms of outside centre, I see Manu Tuolangi is more of an inside centre, really, a crash ball inside centre. But Tuolangi's been solid this tournament, not massive amounts of complaints. I think he's been really decent. But in terms of Naisalevu, an outstanding talent. His ability, his pace, advantage that he'll have over Tuolangi, and his ability to offload is simply incredible. So I'm going to have to favour Naisalevu in this case as well. In terms of the back three, we've got May against Habossi. Now look, Johnny May is one of England's all-time top try scorers, a real phenomenal player for England over the years, but I feel like he's slightly past it now, and the likes of Habossi, the youthful players, are just really bringing it. And look, May got skinned a couple times. It might have been against Ravatamunda, against Fiji in their last game in August, and I wouldn't be surprised if it happens again, because these Fijian wingers have some serious pace, physicality, handoffs. They have it all, really. So look, I'm going to have to favour Habossi. Maybe not the most secure under the high ball, but I do think he clears Johnny May, mainly just with sort of the youthful exuberance you get with a winger in his prime. On the other wing, you've got Joe Marchant, who, look, he's realistically is an outside centre who can play wing. So once again, England playing players out of their position. And Ravatamunda, one of the most outstanding Fijian backs in terms of line breaks and the ability to score tries. So look, I'm going to have to favour Ravatamunda, real quality player. And look, England have got to really be careful and make sure they're on form, to make sure they have their line speed and can really stop the Fijian backs from getting any sort of fast-paced ball, because if they do, it's danger time. Because look, they can step off both feet, they can offload with both hands, they can pass before contact, they can pass after contact. They really do have the full bag of tricks. One of the problems Fiji do have is with all of these incredible sort of ethoses of how they play, of the quick ball and the offloads, it does create handling errors. So there will be opportunities for England to play off of Fiji's errors, but when it does click, Fiji are absolutely incredible. Now at fullback, you've got Freddie Stewart, and I can't quite pronounce the Fijian fullback's name, Makula. But look, Freddie Stewart, he's not been on the best of form. He's had better performances and better sort of strings of performances, but look, I'd have to edge towards Stewart here, because he is definitely one of the most important England players at fullback. And look, I think he's a decent player, and when he gets it right, he's one of the best in the world at fullback. I'm not saying he is at the moment, but under the high ball, he definitely is. And when he gets it right, and if the style of game suits him, he can really be very impressive. So look, I'm going to circle Freddie Stewart, and that will conclude my combined team. A decent balance between England and Fiji, very even in the forward pack with 4 from each team, and then the back line is mainly dominated by Fijians. It's going to be a great contest, and look, if the Fijians click, it will make for an exciting game. So let me know your thoughts on my combined 15. Who have I got right, who have I got wrong? And yeah, I'll be sure to discuss them in the comment section below. But thank you very much for watching.